शांतनु दा, गुड आफ्टरनून।
गुड आफ्टरनून तरुण, हाउ आर यू?
बस बिल्कुल बढ़िया, आप कैसे हैं सर?
बस बस
बढ़िया।
all well.
हेलो। हाँ सर।
Santanu sir,
Yes.
are you able to share?
Yeah, ready. Should we start? Oh अच्छा, शेयरिंग ट्राई करने के लिए बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ, kindly check the sharing sir.
हाँ, just a minute. आ रहा है?
Sir, just hold on.
देख पा रहे हो? योगेश?
ठीक है, अभी इसको मिनिमाइज कर दीजिए।
Yes.
हाँ ठीक है।
But इसको viewer में ले लीजिए sir, viewer में.
कौन सा?
Kindly put it in viewer. PowerPoint. Sir. अरे तुम्हारा वो उसको बंद करना। यूट्यूब यहाँ पे बंद कर दो, स्ट्रीमिंग तो हो रहा है ना, यूट्यूब से भी आ रहा है ना।
चलो, कैसे आपने मेल में डाल दिया? तरुण सर,
हाँ
शुड वी स्टार्ट सर?
यस यस।
अच्छा एक मिनट योगेश
सर,
just a minute. There is some problem. I will just rejoin here. I think.
हाँ, थोड़ा शेयरिंग से भी बाहर आ जाइए सर।
हाँ वही थोड़ा सा ब्लॉक हो गया स्क्रीन। हाँ अभी निकल गया।
मैंने बाहर किया स्पीकर में।
हाँ इट्स ओके।
हाँ इट्स ओके नाउ।
या ठीक है।
तरुण सर,
Should I start?
सर प्लीज सर।
Respected CGM ICRS Northern Region, all head of the department and all my dear colleagues, and today our today's special faculty Sri Shantanu Da. Shantanu Da, why I am saying Shantanu Da, because we have a 2009 or 10 you can say. Sri Shantanu Da was in operations, and he has been looking after this biofuels, ethanol blended petrol and biodiesel at during those time, and has done a fantastic thing in the development of ethanol blended MS. Earlier the blending was 5%, now it is 10% and targeting to 20%. So I welcome each one of you to this great program under the theme of Saksham 2021, and the topic which we have selected is the green energy alternatives for future. As we are knowing that the future world is moving towards the green fuels. Green fuels, we all understand that biofuels like ethanol blended MS, biodiesel, CNG, hydrogen spiked CNG, methanol, compressed biogas, city gas distribution ship in the business. IOC is also moving towards like that. Electric vehicle is also there. Metal air battery technology is also there, and we are moving towards solar and wind energy. So lots of things IOC is doing for future business in green energy, and world is adopting this technology. So I welcome all of our participants to this program, and especially welcome Sri Shantanuda, and eager and waiting to listen from him about the what are the strategy of IOC in green future in green energy development. So thank you, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Uh,
Tarun. Thank you
I
for
I
this.
I'm I'm calling Shri CGM ICRS. So please inaugurate this session,
Okay.
Shri TM Gupta sir.
Thank you, Tarunji. Thank you. Good afternoon to everybody, and a special good afternoon to Shantanu, my very good friend.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and he, I'm really thankful to him. He immediately agreed to share his views. And one thing, everybody will understand कि आज के टाइम में जैसा कि बोल सकते हैं कि ग्रीन एनर्जी और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट अल्टरनेटिव एनर्जी दे आर द नीड ऑफ द आवर जो हमारे एनर्जी सोर्सेज जिनको हम आज तक यूज करते रहे हैं लाइक योर हाइड्रोकार्बन एंड ऑल दे आर नॉट अनलिमिटेड कभी ना कभी खत्म होंगे पहला है भंडार जी कितना हमारे पास इसका स्टोरेज है और दूसरा इशू है कि हमारे जो पॉल्यूशन है हमें जो पॉल्यूशन पे कंट्रोल करना है फॉर्चुनेटली आप ये कह सकते हैं कि जो अल्टरनेट एनर्जी है जैसे अभी तरुण जी ने बताया कि विंड एनर्जी है सोलर एनर्जी है या हमारे जो मिथनॉल है बायो एनर्जी है कंप्रेस बायोगैस है एक तो ये रिन्यूएबल हैं कि दे आर ऑलवेज अवेलेबल टू यू जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा तब तक ये आपको अवेलेबल होते रहेंगे और दूसरा क्या है कि इनसे पॉल्यूशन भी नहीं होता है सो दे आर टू एडवांटेज मल्टीपल एडवांटेजेस देयर आर ड्यूअल एडवांटेज एक तो इसका कभी भंडार खत्म नहीं होगा अक्षय जिसे बोलते हैं अक्षय एनर्जी अक्षय ऊर्जा ये अक्षय ऊर्जा के सोर्स हैं और दूसरा ये हमें पॉल्यूशन भी नहीं करते हैं तो दे आर डबल बेनिफिट इस साल का थीम भी इन्होंने रखा है जो मैं देख रहा था अभी जो इनका पीसीआरए ने जो इसका सक्षम का थीम रखा है दैट इज आल्सो ग्रीन एंड क्लीन एनर्जी this is just very apt and therefore we requested Shantanu da ke bhai this your department sustainable development and your alternate energy is a very apt topic for this Saksham celebrations and sustainability this is also very important thing कि sustainability जैसे मैं कई बार कहता हूँ अगर आप अपने जो डेवलपमेंट करते हैं आप अपने घर का एग्जांपल ले लीजिए अगर आप घर में डेवलपमेंट करना चाहें रिनोवेशन करना चाहें कि मैं सारे घर को सेंट्रली एसी कर दूंगा और सारे घर में बड़े बड़े गैजेट लगा दूंगा जब तक कि आप उसको सस्टेन नहीं कर सकते कोई फायदा नहीं है सो ऑल द डेवलपमेंट्स हैव टू बी सस्टेनेबल अदरवाइज दे आर यूजलेस सो देयरफॉर today's session which our Shantanu has immediately and kindly agreed will be very very important session and it will certainly add to our knowledge and guide us and I will not take much time I will request to take over and share his views and guide us
Thank you sir. Thank you very much. Very good afternoon. In fact, Gupta साहब को हमने बहुत दिन से जानते हैं जब एचओ में थे we used to work in a new project of petcoke gasification from there to ethanol. So Gupta sahab was taking a very pivotal role at that point of time. And thank you very much, sir, for your introduction. And Tarun, thank you very much. We know each other for quite some time. So we had a very nice tenure at HO. So now all the participants here, we know Jogesh, we know not many people we know. So we'll quickly start the presentation so that I understand that a lot of questions you must be having, how the things are being done. So I will try to answer to you because I will finish off the presentation and then we'll go for the question and answer sessions. So I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, right, nice, thank you. So this is the green energy alternatives for the future. To telling about the future, then the first question comes, which is the energy for the future? Let us see how this energy is being mapped and what are the requirements, how it will be defined. So this demand growth is one of the parameters which comes in the forefront. Population growth, GDP growth, and demand management. So these things go side by side because that India is the highest rate of growth in energy consumption is being observed now, and it is going to continue because as a country, we have multifarious advantages, and also we are fast developing. And population growth is also one of the parameters which ultimately leads to a demand growth. But ultimately demand management is one area which is very, very important. Now, coming to that, if there is a demand growth, then there is ought to have supply challenges, because unless you meet this demand with supply, you are not addressing the real issues. Then in some quarter there will be excess energy availability, some quarter there will be no energy availability. So then there will be a quite imbalance. So this supply challenges and demand management is two things to should be complementary. The supply is through conventional fuel. Conventional fuel means what is available today is mostly fossil fuel and others, and alternate energy, which renewables, biofuels, and gas. These two supplies areas we have defined, which has to be matched with the demand growth, and at which proportion that will come in my deliberations today. Coming to the security of supply, see, as a very rightly Gupta sir has just said, it's a very, very relevant point today, that the alternatives what you are selecting, whether it is sustainable from not only climatic situations, but also the availability situations. It may be available 6 months in a year. What about the balance 6 months? So any alternatives you go, when you are coming to the nature, there are natural cycle. So you have to be very, very careful in designing and picking up the best choice, which will ultimately replace your conventional fuel. Because conventional fuel has given a history of over centuries, they are continuing. So you have got a total dependence. You know, if I go to a total outlet, you get a petrol, diesel, burning a couple of hours sometimes, because but the efficient system of Indian Oil, the logistic system, they will not offer you zero fuel or say, sorry, I am not available. So this is always available. So that alternate selection is very important. And also, while selecting alternatives, you should be very careful to see that whether I am increasing my water footprint by taking this alternative, and if or whether you are increasing your land footprint, because these are all precious resources. You cannot compromise with those resources because those resources are required for other activities also. So we cannot select one alternative who will take the highest land footprint or highest water footprint. Then it doesn't fit in your basket, because that will be at a very high, not only at a high price, but at a resource loss for other development. So security of supply is very important, because today we have a huge import dependence of over 83.5%. Competition is always there. So we are looking for indigenous feedstock, which is sustainably available. This is where the final question is, that pollution, climate change, and environmental impacts. This is very, very important for today's generations. We cannot leave the earth for tomorrow's children, who will say that you people have enjoyed the earth from all angles, but you have kept only a smoke chamber for us. We cannot afford to do that. And above everything is the technology and policy. These two, policy, as you know, it's any government has a sovereign responsibility to find out the best policies so that it can run for the future without any interventions and interruptions. And technology today, the world is, we are blessed to see that huge disruptive technologies coming up with the different startups are coming, different group of people are developing new things like waste energy and all those fields, which we'll discuss few of them. It's a tremendous push has come. So the challenge today is to select the right technology for the right applications, which will consume right resources, which have sustainable solutions. This giving this background, now let's see where we stand today. This slide will be maybe new for most of you, but please have a look on this slide very, very critical. It's very important to understand where the globe is today. So it is an Earth Overshoot Day. What is the Earth Overshoot Day? You can see the bottom lines. The day when humanity exhausts its nature budget for the year. That is the day when annual ecological footprint of human becomes greater than the planet's overall biocapacity. It's a very important line. Overall biocapacity of the planet, or the planet's ability to regenerate the losses encountered during the year. It's like you are running a family. You have given a 1 month budget. But if you exhaust the budget within 20-21 days, then what will do for the last 9 days? This is where the whole budget of this the earth is being happening. And you see the graph, what it is showing. The 1970, if you see the total budget, it is in the calendar year from 1st January to 31st December. The whole resources were spent by 29 December. So we had 2 days which we didn't have any cover. So we had to exert earth for 2 days. Then with the huge development started industrial growth and all across the globe. 1980, after 10 years, it becomes 4th November. That means 5th November onwards up to 31st December, earth is not able to survive you as a natural ecological balance. So you are stressing earth. So this severity is on the earth. Coming to 1990, 2000, 2010 and 2019, it became 29th July. That's last to last year. And then it means 1.7 earth is required for the resources to feed the mankind to survive in the world. So everybody blames COVID for various reasons. Yes, that was a big challenge pandemic. But you see what magic happened in 2000 in 1 year time. The way things were preponing, 7th August, 29 July, then it should have been ideally becomes maybe somewhere around 30th or 31st June. But the COVID has stopped the whole world for some time. Lockdowns here, there, activities stopped. So the nature got some time to breathe. So this has increased that Earth overshoot day by almost a month's time. So 22nd August is the first time in the last 50 years the day was extended rather than coming with it shortening. So this is where the after COVID today, if you see the 22nd August, even this year, if you see there will be some impact of that, some slowdown is happening. So this is very important when you select your technology, you select your alternative fuels, because fossil fuel and all the grids what we are excessively using our earth, which is kind of the point of no return. This will lead to the fueling the future, the 3 energy carriers. This will be the energy carriers for the future broadly. One is methane, one is hydrogen, and one is electron. So these 3 will decide that how the energy outlook will be taken by the earth in the future. And there will be energy carriers to carry these things. This will be the ultimate energy for the future. You can see methane, CH4, electrons, they don't have any carbon, hydrogen, they don't have a carbon. So it is going to become a carbon-free energy sources in future. Let's see what are the objectives and strategies we are following for making this happen. The first thing is carbon footprint management. It's very, very essential to manage carbon footprint. How you are doing? You are first, you know the accounting, then energy conservation techniques, then efficient energy efficiency. You have to see efficient gadgets. Then coming to alternative energies, and then biofuel, then carbon sequestration. So those 3 alternatives is very, very important in today's context in the world. Globally, these things are being followed. And Indian Oil, as Indian Oil, it has started this happening for 20 years back. And still they are in the front line so far oil companies in the country is the concept. So that is where the strength of Indian Oil is. Water footprint management, we have worked out that reduce, reuse, recycle. These 3 basic things we are working on, which will have in addition to the rainwater harvesting, which is being done at the location level. And also, this is very, very important, rainwater harvesting. I will tell each of you to be very, very focused on the maintenance of rainwater harvesting equipments and the facilities provided across the country. This is where our future depends. Waste footprint management, this is another area, which is again starting from accounting, because you should know where you are. Then reduce, reuse, and recycle. And then you convert waste to wealth, which is a major game changer for future. Indian Oil is already working in this line also. So all these bottom liners, whatever you are seeing from the 3 areas, it's a continuously spread across the divisions. Actions have been taken, policies are being framed, and it is being rigorously pursued. So coming to the biofuels outlook, what are the biofuels? Then the natural questions will be, you've been biofuels, what are the biofuels? So we'll have a quick outlook that what are the biofuels categories. One is traditional biofuels, which is 1G, that is first generation ethanol, which is mostly from molasses. Molasses is nothing but a byproduct of a sugar industry, which after producing sugar, you get molasses, and this molasses is having different level of sugar contents, and you convert that molasses into ethanol. And now with government recent policies, government has allowed sugar conversion to ethanol, sugarcane juice conversion to ethanol, molasses, B heavy, C heavy, two categories of molasses, both can be converted to ethanol. Conventionally, C heavy molasses was converted to ethanol, but now they have broad-based to maximize the ethanol production. And also very recently, they have allowed damaged food grain and surplus grains like rice and also corn, which can be converted to ethanol. So that government is trying all out to push the ethanol blending in petrol, to maximize the numbers to E20. Another part is biodiesel. This biodiesel is mostly manufactured from palm stearin oil, which is nothing but whatever palm oil we eat, the vegetable oil. Some portion while manufacturing vegetable oil, some portion is not fit for human consumption. So those things are being converted to soap industry by soap industries and also for these biodiesel productions. So that is where these two are the traditional biodiesel, biofuels from 1G stage. Now coming to the advanced biofuel. See the whole galaxy of the product alternatives are there. You can pick and choose anyone and work on this, which is ultimately going to help you by replacing fossil fuel. The three green tags, what we are seeing, that compressed biogas, UCO to biodiesel. What is UCO? It is used cooking oil, which is also a venture which we have taken. As Indian Oil, you must be proud of that, that we have already started manufacturing UCO to biodiesel. And this biodiesel is starting flowing in our locations and which is being supplied for biodiesel blending. Compressed biogas, you use any waste. You use agri waste, you use municipal waste, press mud from sugar industries, you use chicken litter, animal dung, whatever waste you say. This can be converted, this organic waste can be converted to compressed biogas. I will come to that. Then drop-in fuels, 3G, third generation biofuels. This is the algae-based biofuels. Second generation ethanol from lingocellulose. This is also Indian Oil. We are making a plant into 2G ethanol. Biomethanol, dimethyl ether, and biohydrogen. Biohydrogen also very actively we are working on this. So this is a total basket of advanced biofuels. To name a few, there are other alternatives also, but these are the majorly focused across the globe. So we will see that how quickly that CBG production, as compressed biogas, one of the advanced biofuel. See, we have left side, you can see this is where your cow dung, you can see the straw, rice straw lying there, municipal solid waste at the bottom, and then the sewage treatment plants and their gases. So there it is all this after pre-treatment is given to digester. Anaerobic digestion takes place. And after these digestions, biogas is produced. Biogas is the unpurified methane. So methane along with carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and other few gases, and some moisture. It is being produced through digester and it is stored at biogas. You can see the balloon. Then it is purified. So through these purifications, they take pure biogas out. That means methane, 96 to 97% pure methane comes out. And then it is compressed for better transportations in the cylinders, which they cascade. And this cascade goes for transportation. And this is where the whole chain of biogas, starting from the waste, you become a wealth because you are selling to that at a price equivalent to CNG. And this biogas CBG is equivalent to CNG. No vehicle changes are required. Any CNG vehicle can consume CBG as automatic fuel. Another very important co-product, I don't say it is a byproduct, it's a co-product because this is equally important for the country. This is organic manure, which comes as a digestate, and then after little treatment, it goes as a biomanure and slurry. There are two categories. Biomanure is a solid part, slurry is the liquid part. And both the things are very essential for our fertility, land fertility, so that chemical fertilizers can be replaced with this. So with this process, you are one way replacing fossil fuels, another way you're replacing chemical fertilizers. So it's a win-win situation for the country. And Indian Oil is very actively working on this. And our R&D center has developed an environmental and inoculant producing higher biogas with high methane. So you see the biogas, generally it is 50 to 60% purity initial when the raw biogas is produced. But if you use this inoculum, which has been developed by us, which will increase to 20%, that means you will get over 60 to 70% of biogas initially. So it becomes very, very cost effective. So the Satat scheme has been designed for this, which was launched on the 1st October 2018, which is sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation, which is targeting 5,000 such CBG plants, moderate size, 15 million metric ton of CBG will be produced as a whole per year, and 50 million metric ton of biomanure will be produced as a whole per year. So, see, if you see 15 million metric ton, which will take at least 15% of your gas share, which is an enormous savings from the, not only from the import perspective, but it's an enormous savings from the environmental perspective. But otherwise, this all waste either would have been burnt or would have been thrown into the water, would have gone to drain, or would have gone as stinking all across the country. So this is a very, very ambitious project. CBG plants will be set up by entrepreneurs. The model is we'll be giving EOIs and then LOI will be issued to the entrepreneurs, and we'll take the offtake guarantees, which is 10 years. Now we are making it 15 years, the guarantee of offtake. And then procurement price has been fixed, which is 46 rupees per kg plus taxes, which is GST now at 5%. And this is up to 2024 March. After that, another 5 years, it will become a floor price. So it will not go below 46. It will only increase depending on the time market condition. So this is where it is important. It's very interesting in the sense that when the banks, you are going for a lending for the banks, they get a comfort that yes, the price has been fixed, offtake has been fixed. So if you don't do the required to do the marketing to take the sales pressure for this, so you concentrate on your feedstock and processing. So far, 676 LOIs have been awarded, which is cumulatively correspond to 1.3 million metric ton per annum CBG capacity by oil and gas companies. So out of 15 million metric ton, we are at 1.3 million metric ton, considering all 676 LOIs is converted to the plants. And LOI, EOI documents, you have your own contacts. So we have taken a drive for popularizing EOIs. So I will request you to tell your people or your stakeholders so that they can invest in this. This is a very good investment opportunity, which may not be available for all because there is a finite quantity of waste. The more or more fast mover advantage will be there. But if it is delayed, then it may be somebody else will take the part. But it's a very good business opportunity for the people. We have developed a brand for this. This is IndiGreen, which is compressed biogas, 100% green fuel, which is being sold across 15 retail outlets in the country. I'll show you the few of the pictures also. This is CBG marketing, which is physically being refueled. So it's not theory. Now people will say that, okay, we say lots of things and we take, but yes, it has been proved in the ground that we are selling from 50 retail outlets and 2 industrial customers. These are the list of the plants which we have been giving. Pune, Maharashtra, we have a plant. We are supplying there through a retail outlet. Kolhapur in Maharashtra, then Namakkal in Tamil Nadu, we have our sister concern, which is IoT biogas. Surendranagar, Gujarat, Anand, Gujarat, Surat, then Rohtak, Haryana, very recently we have started this. Karappa in Andhra Pradesh and Sangli, Maharashtra. These 9 plants are supplying CBG to these 15 retail outlets, and 2 industrial customers also have joined there. They are also in the Namakkal spreading term. This is one of the co-product which I said, the biomanure, which is a very important byproduct. So though I say it is co-product, but this is 20% crop yield by using this. This has been all proven. Whatever the statements have been given here, that means proven. This is Aishwariyam brand is IoT biogas brand, which is our JV. So there we are packaging it and to sell it. So there are talks are on. We will be selling these products from other CBG producers through our KSK channel. So that is also, it's going to fetch some revenues and it's a very good revenue model. chemical nitrogen and phosphorus it will replace, restore natural soil fertility, and it will protect against drought and soil-borne diseases. And it will convert into your organic farming. Coming to 1G ethanol, you will say ethanol so far, as Tarun was telling that yes, we are procuring from sugar industries and blending. But now we are going to develop and set up ethanol manufacturing plant, which is a very, very recent development, which ministry has taken us call, an honorable minister to a couple of VCs. And we are going to develop 4 plants in the country. One is in Chhattisgarh, one is in Balaso, and one is in Telangana and Hyderabad. And also there are a few other states or other concerns. If you see our ethanol sugar availability from sugarcane manufacturing plants are limited because there are few states, UP, Maharashtra, Karnataka, these 3 are major sugar producing states. So we get 80% of ethanol from these states. But other states, they don't get much. And we have to go for a long distance travel, taking ethanol from these states to the nearby states. So if you see other way, the rice and grain availability across the country where paddy is grown, which is enormous. And we have a lots of surplus because if you say today, we have 3 years equivalent stocking of paddy. So that is being converted to ethanol. So we are going to develop 500 KL per day ethanol production capacity plants, all these 4 locations. And this is briefly, I have said how this starch grain getting converted to the ethanol. So these technologies and all this lining up is on. We are working with the technology providers. So we'll be very soon we'll get that board approval and we'll go ahead with the first project among the industries. So that is the target. By 2023, December, we will be coming up with the first plant, which will be in Chhattisgarh, which will produce ethanol and supply for blending. So our production will blend. So that will be another advantage so that the cost is concerned. I will give you the brief of the 1G ethanol blending. So this is the blending performance, which 2013-14, you can see it was 1.53%, and which has come to 5% level in 2018-19 and 19-20. And this year, it is going very steadily because we have got good offer from sugar industries and damaged food grain suppliers. So we are targeting around 8%, 7.8% and plus will be the average blending. So this is how the calculation is done. We do 10% blending wherever ethanol is available, and we do nil blending where ethanol is not available. We don't do intermediate blending, 2%, 5%, 7%, no. So if you see the total ethanol procured by the country, divided by the total MS sold, this is the figure. So it's an average across the country. If you see, this is the percentage blending which is being happening. So with this rice-based ethanol plants, which we are going to spread, so this will be increasing to 20%. That is our target we have taken. And now coming to 2D second generation ethanol, we are going for a, we are almost 50% progress has made. There is a plant is coming up in Panipat, which will convert biomass. This is the top photo. You can see the rice straw, wheat straw, sugarcane bagasse, cotton stalk, corn, sugarcane crash. All these things can be converted through this process of technology, and then hydrolysis. Through hydrolysis process, we set glucose, xylose, and lignin, and then bioethanol is produced. And this lignin cannot be converted to ethanol. This is used as a fuel for the boilers. And also the green has some valorization techniques which are being also worked out. So this is 100 kl per day, Panipat in Haryana. This plant is coming up. This is also we are expecting by next March 2023, this will be coming to the full production. 3G ethanol also, we have touched this area also. We have been working with one company of Lanjatech, where the same year in the Panipat refinery attached to that. So refinery tail gas, which is being taken out and then through gas fermentation technology, we are converting it to ethanol. So this is also one of the latest technology in the world, which will also, otherwise these gases are being flared. This will also be used for manufacturing of ethanol. And this technology working is also on. We are going to produce 40 million liters of ethanol per annum in the Panipat refinery only. This is the first plant coming. After the success of the plant, we'll scale it up and with other refinery models also. Coming to biodiesel, there is a challenge. Biodiesel, we are a diesel economy, so diesel requirement is consumption is maximum in our country, which is almost 3.5 times of your petrol consumption. So for diesel, there are various efforts are being taken, but one major area is used cooking oil. So this used cooking oil, which is nothing but the oil, which is an edible oil used by bulk oil users like Haldiram, Bhujiyawala, then McDonald's, some KFCs, the restaurants, then hotels, big hotels, the canteens. So they all, after the frying, so it's a question of awareness. So you keep on frying the oil. After 2 to 3 frying, this oil becomes not suitable for human consumption. But we hardly bother to throw it away. So there are efforts being taken through in consultation with FSSI. We have made a move. There is a state level committee. So where food commissioner will be there, FSSI in charge will be there. Then what will be done that we will be collecting this oil, used oil, from restaurants, from bulk oil users, from hotels, canteens. We are, for the timing, we are not touching the household consumption because we have a mind to consume everything. We don't throw oil out, whatever is being. That is why we become a diabetic and hypertensive people across the country. So here it will, once it is after second or third frying, it will be taken out, and it will be taken out to give to the biodiesel manufacturers, and then they will convert it to biodiesel, and that biodiesel will come to our terminals and depots, will blend it with diesel. So this is the process flow which we have defined, and to collect it and to develop this infrastructure, we have also published an expression of interest. Good responses are coming for that. For your information, if you would say in 2200 TKL, which is generally used in 220 crore liters of biodiesel, can be converted from used cooking oil. The collection, aggregation, those challenges are there, but these are being taken care of through the state level committees, which maybe another couple of years' time, we will have a full-fledged infrastructure ready, and it will be a satellite plants which will be nearer to the cities where the maximum frying and all those things happen, and then that will be converted to biodiesel. It's a both a way. It will give a citizen's health, take care of the health, and it will also take care of our requirement of the diesel. So that will be the win-win situation from both the sides. And this is one outline of how we are selecting the vendors. And 300 cities EOI is continuing now in the country. And we have already some sufficient LOI letter of intents we have already issued. 28 crore equivalent biodiesel production capacity have been already in the process of addition. So once it is added, then we are targeting around 300 to 250 crores liters of biodiesel production. So this is another movement is going on along with compressed biogas. This is one area which I said that waste to wealth. This is the area where it was totally untouched for fuel productions. Generally, waste are being converted to power, for power generation, electricity. This is where the waste are lying in the country. Municipal solid waste, which every day you are throwing from your house, is the 62 million metric ton per annum. Every year, 62 million metric ton waste is generated in our country. You can see the Gazipur huge dump, and all across Okla dump, and any cities, any major cities or minor cities, you can see some dump here and there where you have to guard, you have to close your nose, the stinking smell, all these things are happening. And this is not only a health hazard, it's a hazard for the climate because it gives the whole obnoxious gases into the discharge into the atmosphere. Out of 62 million metric ton, 90% are collected and only 27% are treated. So that is where it is going to the landfill. Because if you are not able to treat, what to do? You dump. You select a dump 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers away from the city. Keep on dumping. But how long you will be able to dump this much of quantity? After some times, you will be fully covered. I'm giving an example. It will a number, it will be unbelievable number. In Delhi city, they generate 14,000 ton per day. Can you believe it? 14,000 ton per day municipal solid waste. And these are partly being processed, partly being dumped. And this dumping, if continues, then over a period of 10 years' time, Delhi will have no space. We'll only have dumps surrounding us. So here there is a huge potential, because when we went for the composition of the municipal solid waste, we saw 51% of the waste is organic waste, which can be converted to compressed biogas. Plastic waste is 10%, which can be recycled as a plastic, and paper 7%, and others, including inerts, 32%. So these inerts can be used for the road making and brick buildings and all the civil structures. Paper and plastics can be converted again to energy. And this is also, there is a good intervention of the latest technologies we are working on, which is called refused derived fuel. It consists of plastic, paper, and which cannot be biodigested, which will remain solid. That can be converted to energy. The process we are working on, which is a demo plant in Okhla in Delhi, we are working with an USA-based party who has developed a system which will be producing syngas, which is synthesis gas, through a gasifier using a plasma torch. And all sorts of biomass can be processed here. And after the gasifier, then the syngas will be produced. Syngas is nothing but a combination of carbon monoxide and hydrogen. And these two elemental gases will be conditioned. And with a downstream technology, we can use power and generate power. We can use for hydrogen separation. We have hydrogen for the future. We have a synthesis process through which we can process chemicals. We can have future FT process, through which we can have a liquid fuels like ethanol, methanol, and others. So this is where we are going, and this is a synthetic natural gas is one more alternative. So for the demo plant, we are producing electricity because we want to see the syngas quality and the generation, how much cost and etc., so that we can go for a scale up. So very hopeful. This is also this project we are expecting by turn of this year, we'll be able to see the results that how this syngases are being produced and what are the things. And this is first of its kind is happening in this capacity in the country, which is by Indian Oil. Very recently, few of you must have watched this video because we had signed one MOU with a demonstration of energy facilities in Okhla. Also, another is an integrated waste to energy plant, which we recently done on 19 January under the chairmanship of Honorable Minister of Petroleum, where we'll be processing 2,300 tons per day of waste, and we'll develop a plant which will be producing biogas or ethanol, synthetic methane, hydrogen, and different technology. It will be combinations of different technologies coming to that. 2,300 tons per day will be addressed. In the picture, you can see Honorable Minister, you can see Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, and bottom myself and Director of NDMC were exchanging the MOU documents. There is one opportunity which we are working on is plastic recycling. If you see the India's plastic consumption is 14 million metric ton per annum. We use plastic equivalent to 14 million metric ton every year. And the growth rate is going at 5.15%. So you can imagine after 10 years, it will be 1.5 times minimum. That means it will reach 21 million metric ton, and further it will grow because of the consumption levels, so it's growing. So projected plastic consumption this year by 2021 is almost 16.45 million metric ton. And we use per capita plastic use in India is 11 kgs compared to global average of 28 kg. That means we are still much below than the global average of plastic consumption. So we ought to grow. This current plastic waste for recycling is 10 million metric ton per annum. This is uncollected portion is also there. So this waste from packaging industry is 43%, and these are mostly single use in nature. This is the plastic scenario. What is happening to the plastic? We just throw it. That's all. But then what? Then this. We are going for a plastic neutrality ecosystem from the sustainability point of view. Because as we are pushing the sustainability very hard, then we saw there is an opportunity. So what we are trying to do, the waste generated plastic, segregated plastics in office, household, manufacturing, all those things will be taken to the recycler. We are trying to develop a recycling team which will segregate all the processed and will pelletize. Then there will be a compounding with that's patenting from OEM and applications. And then it will be polymer process converted to application. There will be plastic processor and OEM will be processing that. So this is also what technology we are working on with an Italian firm who will be working on that. The Dahej, we are trying to get one first of its commercial demo plant. It is not be a full-fledged commercial of the high capacity, but we are trying to see around say 100-150 ton per day, how the things done, and then we'll scale it up. And there's a tremendous business opportunity in this area, and which will address your waste mitigation also. And also you will be having the sustainability point of view from the very, very beginning. And coming to after this biofuel and plastics, you can see the alternate energy where we stand as a renewable power generations. This is your company is like already having wind, solar. We have touched both. You can see the graph. This is the increase in this solar. We are continuously increasing. Wind, there are various reasons. It got static because there are certain government policy changes and all. But after the COVID and all those things, you can see the whole world is again concentrating on renewable energy. We are also going ahead with that because we are recently having a MOU we are having with this SECI. So the solar enterprise now again we are going back to this original power generations from alternative sources, which is very, very important today. We have an installed capacity of wind power 160 megawatt, 68, and solar is 63. And we have generated this much of power in 1920, which is 5% of our total energy, whatever is the fossil fuel converted energy. 5% we have blended with this renewable powers. Auto solarization, it is going in a very big way. 70,500 autos are solarized till December 20. And installed capacity is 97 megawatt. So this year we'll be crossing 100 megawatt. So this will be also a very good push from all the sides. And through this, we have mitigated this CO2, 329,000 metric ton of CO2 equivalent mitigated in 1920. It's very, very important because it's a very sustainability target, which ranks us in a very highly placed across the globe, being an oil company, pushing so much of alternative energy and taking away the carbon mitigations. This is one for your information. You may not be having, you feel proud to be the part of our this organizations that where you have the world's highest altitude LPG bottling plant, which is being the fueled with the 200 kilowatt power solar per week in Leh LPG bottling plant. So here you can see the Leh, the solar intensity is very high. And this is where we are proud to be this operating this plant at the highest altitude in the world. Coming to electric mobility, we have a set business plan. We have aluminum air battery interactions. We are making a JV. We are with an OEMs. We are in lithium ion also. We are in sodium. So all sorts of battery manufacturing and swapping we have touched upon. This is the normal business model which we are working on. We have a grid plus renewable electricity, then wheeling of solar power to retail outlet. Then here there will be battery charging and swapping facilities. Different types of ultra fast charging, then swapping, and then it will be monitored, real-time monitoring, so that sitting in your car, you will understand that which one is available where and what are the situations of the traffic, so that you can select where to go. So this will be controlled with the smart network. So this work is on. And if you see some of the examples, which electric mobility initiatives, you can see that EV charging infrastructures, which we are having on 1st January 2021, 127 EV charging and 24 battery swapping stations have been already installed at ROs across the country. And EV charge energy storage, we have a discussion held with various battery technology and Finergy aluminum air technology, which is an Israeli-based company. We are going for a JV with this company, which will be making is the state-of-the-art technology, which is aluminum air, which will have a very good market opening in the future. So we can see a few of the photographs of battery swapping, upper one, and next lower one is EV charging stations. So coming to the almost we have reached the end. So what we are doing? Internal is balancing the triple bottom lines of sustainability, that is economic, environment, and social. This is the challenge of balancing. This is what continuously we're trying to do. Internally, Indian has undertaken measures including energy efficiency, renewable energy, carbon sequestration, water management, and waste to energy. And waste to energy is going to give the pathway for the future. For effective utilization of waste and biomass, Indian is setting up biofuels projects because we believe biomass is the new crude for the future. You need not to travel across the globe to bring crude as a huge transit cost. But you have crude with you, which is the biomass and waste. So these are area where you have to tap today so that your future inputs for production is assured. Before anybody steps in, we will grab all this biomass available and we'll book for ourselves. And this is renewable. Every year you will be getting that. Indian Oil is exploring deployment of renewable energy, fuel cells, battery technologies across the world. And also, we are very active in hydrogen. And such projects shall provide new business areas of Indian Oil to sustain the corporation in this century and beyond. So we are prepared for future. The pressure will come on fuel, for the fossil fuel, because as you know, climate consciousness is increasing day by day. So there will be ready to be a leading company, fuel company, with alternatives available. So that if you lose out in your petrol cell, there are gas shells will increase, there are other shells will increase, which are mostly in this domain of alternate energy. So here I end. This is from my side. Now I am open for questions. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for a patient listening. I can take questions now.
Gupta sir, good afternoon. Vinit
Yeah, good
here.
afternoon.
Yeah. Just 3-4 issues where I wanted to be clear. One is this: are we also considering nuclear energy in our this thing? Second is,
yeah, Vinitji.
Yeah.
One by one, I will start.
I will put one by one.
Yeah. So nuclear, yes, nuclear. We have, we have a joint venture with nuclear power corporations. So there are talks are on for a project in Chutka in Madhya Pradesh. So we are working very closely with nuclear power corporations, and we'll see all the future benefits and all other economics before going to board, and then we'll be taking the launch on that. So we are very actively considering that proposal also.
Okay.
Right.
And are we considering for sourcing of UCO, this UCO raised at residents places?
Yeah, that we are keeping. We are not. We have not closed that thing, because what we are trying to do, the big complexes, like residential complexes where the 500 families are staying. So there we are trying to, through a RUCO campaign, we are trying to create first awareness that at what point of time you should throw away the oil. Generally, there is a tendency that what is oil is residue. There you just put it in the drain, which is normal households are doing. So what we are thinking, we will be having a campaigning, because we have started a campaign on RUCO, but unless the collection system is fully robust, then where they will put. So we are going to make the arrangements that the collector people will go and collect. They will have every residence will have a particular area where they will put the used cooking oil, and also the people will go and collect that. So that is the second stage. Maybe another year's time, you will be able to see that thing also started on a pilot basis in some of the big residential colonies.
The big societies there, we can source it through the caretaker there. Yeah.
Yes.
Then third question is that is research going on for the safe storage of?
Your voice got broken.
Hydrogen or this nucleus?
Yeah. Hydrogen. Yeah.
Research
very good
for
question.
Storage of.
Hydrogen. See, hydrogen, we are in touch with the latest technology developer in the world. So Total is being working very closely with us. They have developed a storage which they can go up to 750 bar pressure, right? And then this storage, they are going for an underground tanks, the cylindrical tanks, where they can put it in the liquid form. So now our case, but so far whatever we are working on, we are in the gaseous form. So India, first we have to get the increased pressure up to 500 bar, because we cannot go beyond 250 normally and maximum 350 as per peso guidelines. So that once it is done, then we will have all these logistic systems available. We are working in a pilot on this. And this will ensure that we can also have a storage as well as the transportation, because transportation of hydrogen is also another challenge. So, but full R&D team is, there is an R&D department itself. We are working on this hydrogen under the leadership of Director R&D. And I am also a member of that hydrogen committee, which has been appointed by the Ministry of Petroleum. So we all are working with IISc, Indian Institute of Science. They have their own arrangements. So all the research institutes are doing together to work this on. So we are fully focused on that. So the development with the technologies of the globe, latest technology of the globe. Because hydrogen is also a very developing field, as you know, for the current time.
Okay. And last one, are we at BD Group? BD Group is asking R&D to do some things, or the other way around, that R&D is giving something and we are doing.
This is continuously happening. So, what happens, there are some pilots, R&D, then we are trying to scale up like that. Biomethanation, as I said, the inoculum or the CBG, increase of the yield of biogas that R&D has developed. Now we are trying to implement it through our network of CBG business Satat units and all those things. Inoculum also, we are developing a model to sell inoculum. So that if I am a private entrepreneur, we have made a plant, so we get benefits and IOC R&D gives the technology. So all those things we are doing together.
Okay.
Also,
Thank you.
things in the future is a very, you can earn from technology transfer also. You can earn from your inoculum production also, and you can also, with very good commercial models are being developed for this. That is being done, very closely being monitored.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Viniju.
Santanu sir.
Yeah.
I'm Anand here. Sir, I want to know this regarding the CBG vehicle and CNG vehicles. Both are same or there is some difference?
Absolutely, sir. Any CNG vehicle can take CBG and vice versa.
So wherever CBG is getting sold, and in case later on CNG also comes in that area, so they need not to change anything.
No, nothing, no change. Absolutely.
But chemical wise, function wise, it is same like CNG.
It's methane only. It's methane. See, as per BIS, it's a methane 90% is the minimum in CNG or CBG.
Okay.
Right. So CNG has having some other hydrocarbons, but CBG has 96 to 97% methane. And
what about the costing?
Cost wise equivalent. Now we have kept the cost equivalent to CNG, so that you don't have anything that you don't able to sell. Now 46 rupees, what I said, when we retail at Pune market, we are retailing at 53 rupees, 53.5. Their CNG also at 54, 53.5 to 54. So we are keeping equivalent to CNG price.
So in this case, we need not put any grid and something like, because in CNG, we need to have a grid station and another piping and other things, and we need to source gas.
Yeah.
So for this, we need not put all this setup in.
No, don't require. Rather, ministry, we are also talking to ministry that as CNG is injected in the CGD grid, CBG will also be allowed to inject in the CGD grid. Because if there is village-based plants which doesn't have much of evacuation facilities, then it can inject in the CGD grid with the CNG, and then it will go as a mix. That is also possible.
Achha, one more question, sir. Nowadays, we are finding a lot of companies are declaring that by 2025, my company will be carbon neutral. Yeah. So what is that basically, and when Indian Oil is planning to do?
See, carbon neutrality is like whatever in the process you produce carbon, like your as a fuel you use, you burn carbon. So you take alternative fuels that reduces the carbon. Like you go for solar, you go for wind, you go for hydrogen, or you go for any alternatives which will have a reduced carbon level. But here in India, if you see, as per the forecast which are going, liquid fuel we cannot replace so easily and so fast. There will be a bouquet of the all fuels, like electric vehicle will also be there. Ethanol, 100% ethanol fuel will also be there. Biodiesel fuels will also be there. Fossil fuel will also be there, because the growth rate is so high for our country. So we need at least up to 2040, 2045. We need this liquid fuel. Parallelly, gas will take a lion's share. And then 2050 onwards, it will be like hydrogens, electrons, these things which I have shown in the first slide, that the electron, hydrogen, and this will drive the further future.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Anand.
Sir, there is a question.
Yeah, please, Antriksh.
Sir, do you see hydrogen operated vehicles and battery operated vehicles as complementary or competing entities, especially in respect of since Indian Oil is developing both of them for the future?
These are complementary. See, as I always say, the requirement of energy is so high for our country today. So it will be it will be just a few percentage. Like the focus which is coming, it will be around 2.5 to 3% electric vehicle penetration in next 10 years. Right? Because your denominator is growing like anything.
Right,
And
sir.
with these industrializations and other area, you cannot stop development. So this all will be there in the energy basket. Everybody will have their role to play. It will not displace anyone because, you know, worldwide, China and India, they are the two countries which are highly developing now, the GDP and all those numbers. Europe can take a call because they are the declining stage. Now they are having options that if I bring this, I will replace this. But here we have to take it all for at least next 15 to 20 years and beyond, then we'll see the defining that course correction, what can take the lead, which is the best alternative possible.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Antriksh, thanks.
Any more questions, or can we wind up, or any more questions are there?
If anyone is having questions, if you can have a problem now, you can mail me also. There is no issue. I can respond to your questions for any queries. Thank you for a lively session.
But regarding one question regarding EV charging, so from where do we get the electricity? Because we are not producing electricity in Indian Oil.
No, it's from grid. See, electricity is always available through grid. Now the question is, if you charge your electric vehicle through a grid, which is a thermal power station in the backup, then you are not helping climate directly. Maybe you say that I am not discharging any fumes, but the thermal power station, they are discharging that. So ultimately you are driving your vehicle by coal. That is where we require solar or wind or such alternative energies, which will be required to charge. If you delta amount charging requirement can be replaced with the delta amount of renewables, then you really get your directions clear and the benefit.
Exactly, Shantanu. Solar and wind energy, solar energy has to be used now for charging or replacing that. Yes.
That is in the grid, you can put, inject say 20% of solar energy and use 20% for renewable for the electric charging, then it will be balancing. Otherwise, it will not balance.
Exactly.
Very correct, Gupta sahab. आपने तो पहले यही बताए थे, and that is where the target is. We're trying to do.
हम लोग northern region में भी कर रहे हैं ना. Northern region we have got a solar power plant and we are putting to grid now.
Right, right.
अच्छा, इसको सर पेट्रोल पंप में is it advisable to put it at nearby petrol pump because electric can
anywhere you put, see, electricity distribution through transmission line, which is like grid across the country. Anywhere you produce, you put, you just ethanol blending. So you get renewable energy blended in the thermal energy. So you see the macro level that will be finally decide that. So what I mean to say, the quantum of renewable energy in the total energy basket has to be increased to get the benefit. Whatever you do, wherever you consume, that's immaterial. It's not that you have to produce at your nearby home to produce and take that electricity. Not required. It's a grid. To throw it to the grid. It's like pipeline distribution system. One TOP will take, and another refinery will push. Another refinery will also push. Finally, you will get any TOP like that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shantanu sir, for giving such a wonderful session on green energy initiatives for the future.
Thank you.
It was a new topic for most of us, and we all have learned new things through the session. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks all the audiences. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
It was more of a 2020 match, sir. We came to know a lot of things in just all your efforts you have put. And you have shared it very nicely, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. We love to speak like this. Thank you very much, Gupta sir. Special thanks to you for giving an opportunity to speak. And also, it's really good because your interest and all these things that teams knowledge-based development, we are always there.
And we have
This
used the
will
technology
certainly
very well.
help.
Yeah,
This will
yeah.
certainly help all the participants because this was a very good exposure in such a short time. Like Anand told, 2020 means in such a short time you got so much exposure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shantananda. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Tarun.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
Tarun.
you, sir. Thank you.